What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. Today we're checking out the new Legacy Victory Universe DINOKING. This figure and this set looks absolutely phenomenal. Very, very impressed with what they're able to accomplish with this, with the packaging so far. I haven't even opened it yet. You can see how nice it looks other than the glare, but man, I am so pumped to take a look at this guy. So, without further ado, let's check him out. And here they are, every single one of them in robot mode. So let's go through each one from my least favorite to my favorite. Let's go. Apologies if I butcher any of these names, but starting out we have Ryu, I don't know. But yeah, this guy, I'm digging his colors. I'm not gonna lie, I'm digging the colors. But the sludge mold is not it. The articulation and the way that this figure is structured, like the way the legs work, where it goes around and isn't an actual leg, just confuses my brain. And I'm just trying to figure out, because a lot of these figures you'll notice are really well painted. Well, this figure doesn't feel that way. It feels like the colors just don't pop as much on this guy. But I do like that head sculpt. I think his head is really nice. But outside of that, I'm not really digging this robot mode design. Now, as far as articulation, I'm not going to really show you guys how it works. I'll just let you know what they're missing. This guy, he does have some, some forward butterfly, which is alright, but it does cause this to pop off. So, do it at your own risk. It's okay articulation, nothing great, but pretty bad. But you can take this and peg it on to the side. So you can do this, and I really dig this. I think this looks pretty sweet. I think this saves it a lot for me in terms of the robot mode. So if I were to display it in robot mode, this is how I would have it displayed. Of course, you can do the same. So you take this tab here, flip it out, and you're gonna peg it into that slot right there. And once you do that, you have a beefed up looking boy. Yep, and he fell. And after him, didn't actually take him off the screen, we have Breakdown But a Dinobot. You'll never unsee it. You're welcome. Yeah, this figure doesn't really speak to me that much. I don't know if I'm doing something wrong back here, but he just doesn't feel like he's complete. Even though this is probably one of the better posing Dinobots, if not the best posing guy. He has bicep swivel, elbow bend to a pretty good degree, waist swivel, good knees. He's got it all, but the one thing he lacks is some character, man. And that really stinks. Really, with the Dinobots, they have a lot of character, but with this guy, I just don't feel anything. He just feels blue. But looking at that head sculpt, I like it. I think it looks neat. I think he looks cool. The Decepticon logo is hardly visible at all, so I would have liked maybe some white, like a white background. But outside of that, he looks pretty solid. In terms of accessories, he comes with this big Reaper thingy, the Reaper pickaxe from Fortnite. Yeah, I said it. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention this guy's name is Doryu, so that's cool. And he can hold his Reaper pickaxe and mine some wood. Shing, 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 shing. Yeah, it's great. I really dig this guy with the accessory. I think the accessory really helps this guy. Same case as it was with Ryu. I think it helps him out a lot. Next up, we have Kakuryu. He probably has my favorite colors out of all of these. I really dig the way they set this up. He kind of feels like a dude, I don't know. He kind of looks like he would help form Computron. I'm not saying that he would be the drill guy. I can't remember his name. I'll put his name up there. But he kind of gives off that vibe that he would combine there, especially with that blue mask, which I really, really dig, with the red visor. Nice metallic, though. And I love the details where you can actually see the Decepticon logo. Moving down here, you can also see these nice details. I mean, the colors don't, like, on camera, they don't look as good as they do in person, because in person, this dude looks awesome. I really, really dig it. And the accessories he comes with aren't super great. He comes with, where is it? He comes with this, which, you know exactly what this is. You can peg this in, and Bob's your uncle. Yeah. Oh, and the articulation on this guy, again, he's just missing those elbows. But outside of that, he's got basically everything you'd want for a little core class, which is nice. I also like how the head moves with the entire Triceratops head, instead of just the tiny head where you have to stick your fingers in there, and that's just not a fun time. So I'm glad the engineers took the initiative to do it the right way. Next up, we have Yokuryu. I'm definitely butchering these. But this is the repaint of Swoop, obviously. This is probably one of the better robot designs in terms of the cores. I think the robot mode works exceptionally well. I love the red highlights on this figure to really just give off that evil vibe. And that's really, really nice. I love how compact he is. The hollowness doesn't bug me because of the way he transforms. And the silver highlights really bring it all together. Now, the white does kind of fade out a lot of the detail, which does stink compared to Swoop, which you could see a lot more detail. But I think even with that being said, I still really enjoy the way the robot mode looks. Yeah, I like how this compresses. I don't love how this doesn't fully go against the crotch. It kind of just sticks out, which looks a little weird. But outside of that, I really like how he looks. Again, the articulation is everything you would want from a core. Kind of on par with that core class Optimus figure that we got from Kingdom. Nice knee bend. No ankle articulation. And my light just fell. Let's try that again. And his accessory is this. This is not an accessory. This is not a weapon. I think we can agree that this is a pathetic excuse for a weapon, and that we can just yoink one from over here. No, that one doesn't fit. Let's grab the sword. Just go ahead and give it to him. There you go. Now he has a little sword, which is fun. And speaking of Goryu, who is the leader of this group, I really dig this design. The little chunky aesthetic given off by the paint scheme really makes him look like a little chunkster, and I love it. I really, really love it. I love the way that the paint was laid out. Like I said, the silver highlights really bring it together with that beautiful, beautiful face, the Decepticon logo, the little highlights in here all look really nice. The backpack folds pretty okay. In terms of accessories, he comes with this thing, which looks pretty alright. I'm glad that they painted the underside. One thing you should know about these is that, for the most part, a lot of these are really well painted in terms of the accessories, in terms of the figures, so on and so forth. Very, very nice. And he also comes with this bat. He's going to hit a home run with it. Robo baseball. It's a thing now. Yay. And my favorite. His name is Gairyu, I think. Yeah, I think it's Gairyu. The reason I love this guy so much, and if you want to skip past this part, go ahead and skip ahead like 10 seconds. I'm going to ruin it for you, but this looks like Brawl. This is Brawl. If you take a little cannon and put it back here, you can't tell me that's not Brawl. Come on, that's literally just Brawl. I think he is so funny looking. I love the way that the colors laid out. Like I said, repeating theme here. Some would argue that there's not enough paint and color. I would disagree. I think the way that the color was laid out is very, very nice. The one thing I would have liked is a bigger Decepticon logo, because that is microscopic. You would literally need a microscope to view that thing in detail. But yeah, he feels like just a big bruiser. And that, you can tell, but I love this guy, man. He's great. The articulation isn't really there. The proportions aren't really there. But what matters is that he is that big dude who can't move very well, but he gets the job done. So in terms of size comparison and how this is going to work, everybody's about the same height, so I'm just going to have them here. And then I'm just going to, bring in Shockwave. So here's a Voyager class figure. And here all of them are. So they're all tiny, which is canon accurate, I believe. I'm not a big expert on Victory, but I'm pretty sure that's how big they're supposed to be. And then my light fell again. Then we've got little core class Shockwave here, who doesn't want to stand up apparently. There you go. Core class Optimus. Bang. Here he is with G1 blades as a G1 style combiner. And speaking of which, here he is with Defensor, who you can't really see the top of, but that's okay. You'll see why he's here a little later. So you might be thinking to yourself, Stellars, aren't there a bunch more accessories that you didn't talk about? Yes, you're right. And he also comes with that, by the way. I didn't really show it because it's not really an accessory. So I figured I would spare you from looking at that thing. But now you have, so I guess it doesn't really matter. Anyways, yeah, he comes with a lot more accessories, but those are a little more relevant later. That'll make a little more sense later. You'll get it. But for now, let's get these guys in Dino mode. And I'm going to show you guys how to do it. If you already know how to do it, you can skip past if you want. Or you can watch it just to check it out. You never know. But we're going to start out with this guy. So they're all very, very straightforward. I'm not going to say their names because I don't know them. And because I will probably butcher them even more. So for Victory fans, I will spare you of my mispronunciations. Okay, the Alexa had to be quiet there. Yeah, a lot of you guys, I'm sure, can figure these out. They're very, very, very self-explanatory in the way they work. Very, very simple things. So basically, you're just folding the arms back and covering it with the legs. And then you're taking this parts forming piece and slapping it on the back to form this little ankylosaurus with a little tail on the back, because that's always fun. Next up, we'll do this dude. So this folds up. This comes around. Well, you kind of do this. Oh yeah, listen to this. Transformers ASMR. That's the stuff right there. Anyways, these close up, and then these just fold around. And then this... I mean, you should probably tab them in before you fold them. And then there we go. Wait, hello, there we go. And then these fold down. And then this pegs into the back. And there you go. It's very, very easy. Next up, we have this guy. And my light fell again, man. All right, I finally think I got my light fixed, which is nice. Let's go ahead and transform this dude. So... it's so easy, man. Like, all you do is just fold it back, rotate this up, move these back, make sure they're straight, then tab, slot, bang, bang, and there you go. It's that easy. Then let's go ahead and do him. So these come off. Then it gets a little interesting here. So this folds up. Oh my gosh. Then this folds back. Then basically our goal here is to get these to slide and fill. So you'll see these are the dino feet. So the goal actually is to rotate at the waist, then rotate here, then rotate back, and make sure these fill that gap there. Like so. And then everything's just gonna tab in and have a good time. And there you go. He looks so goofy. Alright, so for this guy's pretty easy. You collapse these, like so. Then these just fold back, literally, like that. And then, what's cool, this is kind of impressive. Oh, I hit my camera. I thought this was kind of impressive, though. This flips up like that, and then it folds around. So it's pretty clever going back into robot mode, because it both fills this gap and hides the head, which is really cool. It also reminds me of that Age of Extinction figure. I'll put it up on the screen. Holy crap, I used to have that thing, and I loved that toy to death. But yeah, it's, again, very, very basic. You can tab this slot into here if you want it to be stable, but that kind of gets in the way of articulation. But just for the sake of it, we're going to tab it in and make sure everything is nice and smooth as it is now. And finally for Goryu, because this is the only one whose name I remember, and he's the leader, and he looks the funniest. I'm just going to say it. But he's your typical Grimlock transformation. This folds up. These doors fold to cover the head. This folds down. These flip around. And then these close up and cover the... Hello? And these cover... Excuse me, sir. These cover the back. There we go. So now we have this. Then these connect. And there you have Goryu in Robo Chicken mode. And since we're here, I really, really like this Dino mode. It's not the best, especially for a Grimlock, which I don't have Grimlock, but you get what I mean. I would have liked some jaw articulation, but for what it is, it's an alright little dino. I think he's cute, I think he's fun, and I think he gets the job done. Holy crap, bars. Then for the Stego, yeah, he looks really, really good. Kind of reminds me of the Studio Series figure. I think they nipped some of the engineering and the style from it, which is a good thing because that was the best Dinobot in my opinion. And, I mean, I can't complain about this one, except for the fist, but it's a core. Like, what are we complaining about? I would show y'all the weapon storage, but for the sake of what it is, all of it kind of looks like this. The only one whose weapon storage I do want to show you, which you'll see later, is actually pretty cool. But for this, it all kind of just looks like this. Then for this dude... Yeah, this is pretty sweet. The only thing I don't like about it is that you can't do standing like this. He kind of looks a little, it doesn't look right. Let's say it that way. Yeah, but I do still dig it. I like the white. I like the blue. The red eyes really, really shine in this mode. They really stand out. Love it. Even though the arms stick out. But from a bird's eye view, he looks pretty sweet. And you've got that flapping motion. Not to a super great degree, but to a degree nonetheless. And the weapon storage, basically you just unfold this and peg it in here, and it looks really bad, so I'm just going to spare you from it. Heh. Psych. Then we have this guy, who looks pretty great from up front, and he's got these awesome ASMR joints. From the side, he looks pretty not good. From the back, he looks pretty not good, and the DINOKING head does stick out quite a bit. Sorry if I spoiled that. But yeah, it looks good from the front. He's got that opening mouth. Don't open it too wide because then you'll see his head. But yeah, pretty solid. He's got, I guess, this kind of articulation, if you want to call it that, which is fun, I guess. I don't know. But a lot of these things you're going to have to get creative if you want to get these in poses. But for what it's worth, I think this is a fine alt mode. And for my favorite little guy, he is so cute. Oh my gosh, he's just a little chunkster. Oh man. I think what's really awesome, this reminds me of two things. So first, it reminds me of the Lego Chima Crocodile Tribe. Why am I forgetting what they're called? I don't know, but yeah, it kind of does with the colors. It kind of does. Also, I love the green and the gunmetal. It really just feels so reptilian and menacing. Even though this guy's tiny. Like, really, really tiny. I still really, really dig this guy's design. And I think they did a pretty good job with it. Even though it's not super articulated and the hand is clearly in the back, I still think it's pretty good. And you saw him in the background. This guy has my absolute favorite weapon storage. Even though he has probably nope, I'm going to say it. He has the worst robot and dino mode. He has the best weapon storage. Because you take these, and they have this specific tab here, which pegs onto here. And it's probably the most satisfying slide-in of a weapon, probably of all time. It just... oh, that's so satisfying. And now we're talking. This looks completely ridiculous, and I'm all for it. Come on. Feast your eyes on the Dino of Destruction. Let's call it that. Man, this looks fun, and also just reminds me of those Pretender shells with the white bottom and the gold top. It's probably what it's referencing, but I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm just here yapping. And here they all are together, looking fantastic with their amazing weapon storage. Yeah, there is parts forming, and there is pretty poor weapon storage, or really sick weapon storage in that guy's case. But the Dino modes are pretty mediocre, some pretty great, some alright, and some downright horrendous. But I think as a group, they're pretty sweet, and they all look pretty cohesive, and very Power Rangers-esque. But let's be honest, all of this was just filler. Get what I did there? Japanese show, filler. Okay. Anyways, we all know what we came here for. We came here for DINOKING. So, let's do this. Starting off with my man right here. So, what you're going to want to do is rip this piece off and rip the head off. That's right. We're doing that. So, next, you want to fold the legs back and take these pieces here. And I guess you're going to want to rotate that back just to give yourself some room to slide these pieces out. Then you can go ahead and bring it back. Then, take this piece. Yeah, you're going to tab it in right there. And you're going to tab it in. So you're going to see this tab right here. And there's going to be a slot in there. So it's going to tab right there. Just like that. Now you can take the head, and we're going to peg it in backwards for a grand reveal. And then this piece is going to go with this guy. So what we're going to do here is, it'd probably be better to start out in robot mode if you're doing this. But since we're in vehicle mode, you're going to want to make sure all of these are facing out like so. Make sure this is folded down. You want to split the arms, rotate at the waist, rotate this backwards, and then have these folded up like so. Then take this piece here, this peg here will go in the center of the chest, like so. And then you're gonna take this piece, you're gonna see these two tabs here and here, these two slots, or I guess peg ports, you know what I mean. And then these two pegs here are gonna go into these two ports there. So you're gonna wanna peg this in first, and that's all gonna peg in. This will also peg in up here. Then you're going to do the top portion, like so, all right, so there you go. Then you can put the legs back down just to make sure it looks flush. And that's the torso, all done. Next, let's do the arms. So you're gonna wanna take this piece off, rotate this down, fold the wings back, keep this piece rotated out if you're using it for weapon storage. Go ahead and rotate at the waist, and then peg these back in. There's going to be this tab that'll go into the slot on the arm. And then this is just going to peg in. So you're going to see these two tabs here, which are going to go in these two slots. Peg that in. Then you're going to want to rotate at the wrist. And there you have the arm all ready to go. Then let's do the other arm. So this guy is pretty simple. Unpeg this, rotate this out, fold these all the way forwards, rotate this to the side. Then you're going to want to take this peg, have it facing out. Me personally, I'm going to have this like this just so it's flush. Then this peg here is going to go right there, like so. The reason, let's make sure that's actually where it needs to be. So the reason that this is kind of weird, and I'm going to explain it now. Basically, this has to be flush like this so that this can be straight. But if it were to be like this so the elbow could bend, then this would have to be out to the side. So that is one limitation of it being in this fashion. So now you know. Then let's go ahead and work on the legs. So first, this guy here, take this and peg it onto the back. That's going to both secure the legs together and just have it as storage. Unpeg these, have it folded forwards and fold these forward as well. These are going to tab together like this. And then this tab here is going to fill in that slot. Bang and bang, just like that. And the chicken head is going to fold forward. And this peg here, if you have the nails for it, you can fold this up like so. Then you're going to take the foot, make sure you got the right one. Never mind, it's the opposite foot. This guy is going to be the right leg. So you're going to peg it in just like that. And boom, and he fell. Now this guy's a little bit tricky because he parts forms. You just rip this piece right off, and then it's kind of weird, like I said. So these are going to fold forwards like this. You also want these. Do you want these folded in? Yeah, you do. You want to have that dino head folded in like that. Go ahead and combine them too while you're at it. And flip this up. Alright, so now you're going to want to take these tabs and peg them in to these slots here. And these are going to come together just like that. And you're going to notice that they're not super stable until you take these and you'll see these two pegs, these two ports, and bang, there we go. Kind of a weird structure for a foot until you take the actual foot and you peg it in. Again, same thing, these peg into the front. If I can actually get it to do its job, there we go. And, oh, this came untabbed, okay. There we go. And I guess it would be helpful if we rotated this around so we wouldn't see that face. There we go. That's a little bit better. So now you got the 2 feet, like that, 2 arms, and then the torso. So these are going to peg into here. Yes, these are 5mm, so you can take any of your weapons and just plug them in. So Bob Bender Orange is going to go wild with this. You can already tell. So this is going to peg into here. This is going to peg into here, like that. Then this is going to peg in to here. And this is going to peg into there. Very, very self-explanatory combining process, which is very nice when compared to some of the more complex combiners out there on the market. It's nice to have something simple for a change. And then finally, we get that grand reveal of Dino King. But guess what? We're not done combining. Because if you take this piece here, rotate it to become the Reaper pickaxe again, then you're going to take this little hammer accessory, peg it in like so, take this sword piece, do that, I guess. I don't know how to phrase that. Take this piece here, and now you have this thing, which can peg in right here. And you take the remaining accessories, and from my understanding, you're supposed to peg this into here, and then this into here. And then now, at last, Dino King is here, man. And just getting a look at this guy, I mean, let's get this straight here. This is a very, very nice and cohesive combiner. One thing I want to point out to you that you can't tell on a camera is that the solidity, and I guess it went from feeling like 6 figures to feeling like 1 figure, which is awesome. Not a lot of combiners feel like that, which is, that's very rare, like I said. And for them to do that at such a small scale, for being new at making these combiners in this scale again, it's very impressive. And again, here he is next to Defensor. This is why I have Defensor, because you know that Defensor is a much smaller combiner when compared to others. Here he is with Dino King. And here he is with Core Shockwave. So you can see the height. And speaking of Shockwave, I guess we can just go ahead and put Voyager Shockwave. So the height of this guy comes into around Voyager, but the heft and the feel of him is definitely along the lines of a leader class Transformers figure. Now, his articulation is very, very nice. Head is on a good range of just going 360. Yep, pretty lackluster, I know. You can do the shoulders up, and they can go the little back, little forward, without it coming untapped, of course. Elbows, 90, wrist swivel, bicep swivel, and this pops off. That's awesome. You do have your waist swivel. Legs can kick all the way forward, all the way back, out to the side, not much. Nice knee bend, and ankle pivot. So this guy's very, very dynamic. You can get him into some pretty sweet poses. I'll have some pictures on a community post if you want to see some posing pictures. So yeah, guys, that's DINOKING. He's pretty great. I know the thing that comes up with this guy is the price. I just want to say that for me, it felt pretty worth it. You know, considering that a core class is around $12 to $13 after tax, maybe more, maybe less, depending on the figure, especially ones like Swoop, which are much harder to find. It can really add up fast when you're getting all 6, especially with the new accessories and the new combiner pieces, along with the quality and it being an exclusive. I think it's very much so worth it, and it's worth a pickup, man. Like, if you like Victory, or if you like neat combiners, and you're okay with it not being the best set, but just being a fun, easy set, then I think that this is a great option for you. This is a great option for kids, too. It's a great introduction into combiners. The one thing that I'm a little hesitant on with kids having this is that there's a lot of parts to lose. So if you're looking to get your kid something, this is probably a good option. But if you're looking for a fun figure in general, this is also a great option. But with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out. That being said, Stellaris.